In this lecture, we will see the condition for maximum mass flow rate and what is the maximum mass flow rate. And from this maximum mass flow rate equations, we will see what is critical properties and what is chalk flow. So let us first understand the mass flow rate through nozzle, why it is so important. So we know the operation of jet engine. The components of jet engine are diffuser, compressors, combustion chamber, turbine, and nozzle, and it works on thrust. So thrust is basically mass into velocity at the inlet, and with the help of nozzle, we are increasing kinetic energy, the exit velocity to a very high value, and therefore we get thrust in this direction. Now, if you see here, the equation of thrust, that is a mass flow rate into change in kinetic energy. So increasing the exit velocity, that is very, very important to get a higher value of thrust. But along with the exit velocity, the mass flow rate also play a very vital role in gaining the maximum thrust. So always we have to design a nozzle which operates on maximum mass flow rate. So along with the exit velocity, which is attained by the nozzle should also give the maximum mass flow rate in order to get the maximum thrust. So in this lecture, we will see what is the condition where we can get the maximum mass flow rate and what is the equation of maximum mass flow rate. So let's write down equation for a mass flow rate and see it depends on what parameters. So mass flow rate we can write down as rho area into velocity. So mass flow rate per unit area we can write down as m dot by area, that is density into velocity. So the fluid density, it depends on the fluid density and the fluid velocity, or say air velocity. So air density and air velocity. So we can write down this density in terms of pressure and temperature. So density is basically a P upon RT. So density depends on pressure and temperature. And for air velocity from Mach number, we can write down Mach number equal to fluid velocity upon sonic velocity. So fluid velocity is basically sonic velocity into Mach number. And we can write down this sonic velocity in terms of again temperature. So sonic velocity is under root gamma r t into Mach number. So we can put this value in this equation. So mass flow rate per unit area, then it becomes density we can write down in terms of pressure and temperature. So P upon RT. Here the fluid velocity or air velocity, that is sonic velocity into Mach number, that is under root gamma RT into Mach number. So we can write down mass flow rate into mass flow rate per unit area as a pressure under root gamma upon R 1 upon T into Mach number. So now mass flow rate per unit area, it depends on pressure, it depends on temperature, and now depends on Mach number. So now we know the static properties varies in the flow field, but the stagnation properties remains constant throughout the flow. So now let us convert the static properties into stagnation properties. So we will write down these static properties, pressure and temperature, in terms of stagnation pressure and stagnation temperature. So we know the stagnation to static property ratio for temperature, that is T0 by T equal to 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 m square. So we can write down static temperature as T0 upon this whole term, that is 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 m square. Similarly, we can write down for a pressure ratio also. So P0 by P, that is same 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 m square. Only here we have to add gamma upon gamma minus 1. So we can write down static pressure also, that is P0 upon this whole term 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 m square raised to gamma upon gamma minus 1. So now we can put this value, static temperature and static pressure, in this equation. So we will get this equation in terms of stagnation pressure and stagnation temperature. So we have this equation. Now we can put this static pressure and static temperature here and here. So mass flow rate per unit area, this P now we can write down as P0 upon 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 m square, gamma upon gamma minus 1, this value, and we can put here T, this value. So gamma under root gamma upon R, we can write down 1 upon T. So we can put reciprocal term. So 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 m square upon T0, and this is our Mach number. So now what is condition for maximum mass flow rate? So after simplification, we can write down this equation in this way. So here we can bring this under root gamma R and T0 together, T0 also. And this term, that is 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 m square, that we can simplify. So this P0 and this under root gamma R T0, and we can simplify this 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 m square. So here gamma upon gamma minus 1 by 2. So it becomes 2 gamma minus this gamma minus 1. So this will become gamma plus 1 upon 2 gamma minus 1. So now our equation for mass flow rate per unit area is under root gamma upon R T0, T0, Mach number divided by 1 plus gamma minus 1 by 2 m square, gamma plus 1 upon 2 gamma minus 1. So now here you can see the P0 is constant, T0 is constant as the stagnation properties remains constant. This gamma for air, that is 1.4, R also 285 for air. So here you can see the mass flow rate. Now only variable is Mach number. The rest of the things are constant. So to get the maximum mass flow rate, we can differentiate this term, this equation, with respect to Mach number, because the only variable is Mach number. So for maximum mass flow rate, differentiate this m dot by A with respect to Mach number, and we can equate with 0. Now why differentiating and equating with 0 will give you the maximum, the condition for maximum mass flow rate, that we will see. So here now you know from this equation the mass flow rate, it depends on Mach number. If you increase the Mach number, then your flow rate will increase. It will attain some maximum value and then it can decrease. So here you can see little change in Mach number will increase your mass flow rate. So you can say the change in Mach number is dm, which change the mass flow rate per unit area. So that is d, that is change in mass flow per unit area. So you can get a slope here. So this slope is nothing but that is a change in mass flow rate with respect to change in Mach number. So that is basically a slope. Okay. And as you reach here, then there will be a no slope. So it becomes a flat. Okay. So here you can say that there is, if you change dm, this mass flow rate will not change at this particular point. So that is a peak value. So we can say that this is a maximum value. So to get a maximum value, you can differentiate and you can equate with 0. So this equation basically represents the flat, means no slope condition. Okay, here there is a no slope. So it will give you the maximum mass flow rate, or you can define, you can see the peak value in this way. Okay. So if you differentiate with respect to Mach number, this equation, then you will get Mach number equal to 1. So the mass flow per unit area is maximum when the Mach number is unity and the velocity at the throat becomes sonic. So here carefully if you see, then we have two conditions. One is Mach number equal to 1. That too, this Mach number equal to 1 at throat. So Mach number equal to 1, or say velocity becomes sonic velocity at the throat. Then only you will get the maximum mass flow rate. So we can put this Mach number equal to 1 in the mass flow rate per unit area equation. So when you put here m equal to 1, the equation will look like this. The maximum mass flow rate here, this will be A star T0 under root gamma R T0 2 upon gamma plus 1 raised to gamma plus 1 upon 2 gamma minus 1. So this equation represents the value of maximum mass flow rate. So maximum mass flow rate depends on stagnation temperature and pressure P0 and T0, and it depends on the critical area. What is critical area, that we will see in next lecture.